I'm Hale Stewart, and I'm with Hale Stewart Law, which is where finance, economics, and law meet. And this is Insurance University. The purpose of this series is to help insureds understand what various commonly issued insurance policies cover. And the reason why is actually pretty simple. Most insureds have absolutely no idea what a number of commonly issued insurance policies actually cover. Typically, someone will buy insurance and they'll get that thick binder that actually has the insurance contract in it. They won't read it, and the reason why, it's boring to read, and nobody will explain it to them. So as a result, the only time that they look at the policy is when they file a claim. And that's when they might find out that they're not covered, which is something that I really want to help people avoid, which is why I have this series. Now today, I'm going to be discussing one of the most commonly issued insurance policies in the U.S., the Commercial General Liability Policy. But before I do that, 2 points. Number one, I'm a lawyer. You're not my client. This video does not establish an attorney-client relationship, so please don't use this as legal advice for you specifically. Number two, I do everything I can to look right at the camera. That's what my mom told me to do, always look people in the eye. Unfortunately, I've got notes down here and the policy over here that I'll be reading from during this presentation. So I'll be looking away. Don't take it personally. Now, I'm a lawyer, and that means that I spend a remarkably large amount of my time in one book, the dictionary. So as a result, I worry about what words really mean. The title of this policy, Commercial General Liability, actually tells us a tremendously large amount of information. Commercial means pertaining to business. So let's suppose that you slip and fall in your house. Well, that's not a commercial endeavor. Therefore, this policy isn't going to be triggered. General. Well, what is general meaning in there? It means not specific, right? Correct, it does. But understand that word in relation to other laser-focused policies that are out there on the market, like, for example, cyber liability, errors and omissions, directors and officers. Those three policies and others focus on one specific risk. General liability is about general tort-related liability. And the word liability tells us that the insured has been sued, has been found to be responsible, and now has to pay somebody money. In legal terms, they are liable. There are 4 key words in the definitions. Okay? Suit, occurrence, property damage, and physical injury. Think about it this way. A CGL covers you for property damage and physical injury caused by an occurrence that you're made aware of by a suit. Let's take these in reverse order. A suit means a tort lawyer has sued you. In fact, I jokingly call the CGL the tort lawyer payoff policy. An occurrence is defined as an accident. Key to that concept is a randomness that's so random that you can't prevent it from happening. Now, property damage and physical injury and bodily injury, I'm going to read the definitions to you. Now, let's start with property damage. Property damage means physical injury to tangible property and loss of use of tangible property that's not physically injured. And bodily injury, and here you're going to find a dirty little secret, which is the fact that this policy could be written a whole lot better, because listen to this. Bodily injury means bodily injury. Right now, my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Howard, is rolling over in her grave. It also means sickness or disease sustained by a person and death resulting from any one of these. The inclusion of the death provision is actually very important. Let's assume the worst happens and somebody dies. You're going to be sued for a cause of action called wrongful death. All you need to know at this point is that that phrase covers that particular coverage. Now, this also covers what's called personal and advertising injury. Again, I'm going to look at the policy here. It's kind of an odd duck policy. It's almost included as an afterthought. A number of very specific tort risks. Okay. False arrest, malicious prosecution. Let's assume, for example, that you own a store and you put somebody in the office because you think they've shoplifted. Those two causes of action are covered. Wrongful eviction from, wrongful entry into, or invasion of the right of private occupancy of a room, dwelling, or premises. You're a landlord and you're trying to kick somebody out. Oral or written publication in any manner of material that slanders or libels a person. Oral or written publication in any manner of material that violates a person's right of privacy. Classic libel and slander. And the use of another's advertising ID in your advertisement, or infringing upon another's copyright, trade dress, or slogan in your advertisement. Again, very specific causes of loss covered by tort law. There are several sets of exclusions you should know about. Number one, earlier I talked about the laser-focused policies that are focused on specific risks. Those are almost all excluded. Pollution, okay, auto coverage, workers' comp, etc. And your property and your work is also excluded. Finally, this policy pays for legal representation in the event you're sued. I cannot stress how great a benefit that is. So you're sued under a negligence cause of action. You tell your insurer, I've been sued. They'll connect you with a lawyer. Litigation is time-consuming and expensive. The fact that this is included in coverage is a very, very big deal. That right there covers basically the high points of the CGL. If you have any questions, please call me, 832-330-4101. Until then, thank you very much for watching this, and I hope you found this helpful.